You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, it is back to being pathetic. Watching the Houston Astros, another absolutely embarrassing display of baseball tonight by the hometown nine as they go out and give it up in extra innings with a walk-off home run there for Josh Smith as the misery post-All-Star break continues for this club. Welcome in tonight to the Locked On Astros Postcast. Thank you for stopping by on what is a miserable night again for this baseball team. They have played nothing but bad baseball overall since they have come back from the All-Star break, and that continues again tonight. Squandered opportunities left and right. We'll talk about them throughout the night tonight. We will have to shine some sort of bright light for a moment on Hunter Brown and what he did tonight. We'll get to it all between now and the next 30-ish minutes here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Again, appreciate you guys joining us. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button today. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. So let's start with the obvious tonight, guys. The Astros can't hit a baseball to save their lives. They are terrible. Absolutely terrible. And it is officially scary season when it comes to the way that this team is messing around with playing bad baseball again. All that work to get back above 500, all that work to get back into first place, and they are just whizzing it right down the drain. That's what they're doing. It is the 5th of August, so tomorrow's the 6th. You're going to look up, all of us are going to look up in a couple of days and go, oh, wow. It's already like August 20th. It's going to come up on you quick. And they're now, a game and a half out, but which is virtually 2 games against Seattle because the Mariners have the tiebreaker this year in the head-to-head. The Mariners aren't even any good. They can pitch, but they can't hit a lick either. One of the worst offenses I've ever seen. And here's this team over here just chugging along. And then they all forget how to hit a baseball. All of them. This team tonight had the bases loaded 3 times. 3 times in 4 innings. 3 times in 4 innings. And they scored 2 runs off of it. 2. And one of them was a gift because Kirby Yates didn't know how to not hit people. Astros got away with 1 with the Yainer Diaz hit by pitch there. I mean, just unbelievable. Unfreaking believable that you could have not only just the bases loaded, but the bases loaded in less than 2 outs. They should have scored 15 runs tonight. Maybe not 15, but they should have scored like 7, 8. Won this thing in 9 innings. Instead, they went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The Rangers weren't any good either. They were 1 for 8. But the Astros left 11 men on base in the baseball game. You got your runs with those bases loaded situations from a dinky little ground ball that, thank goodness, you had 2 speed demons on the base pass there. Now Tuve going home and Pena going to third or first. And I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't. That's the terrible thing. I've tried to tell you all year. I got a lot of pushback on it early in the season. It starts at the top. Altuve's not been very good lately. He swings at bad pitches constantly and isn't the most disciplined hitter anymore. Bregman's been bad. He hits the ball over the fence early, but his numbers tell you the story of his season. Jordan's gotten hits lately, and the Rangers are still too terrified to even pitch to him half the time. So, he didn't even get all the opportunities. Yainer Diaz has been the hottest hitter on the team. I mean, he at least got on base 3 times tonight. Pena did have 2 hits, but again, one of them's a little dribbler. I mean, Jake Myers has completely forgotten how to hit the baseball, but honestly, what the hell do you do? They don't have, here's the thing, they don't have anybody to play in the outfield. They don't have anybody. You can't play Chas McCormick. You can't play Trey Cabbage. You can't play Mauricio Dubon out there. You're going to play Pedro Leon until he shows you that he's a rookie, which he was 0 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts, until you just can't do it anymore. They have nobody. They have nobody to play the outfield. They're going to have to resort to giving Aledmys Diaz a chance to play in the outfield some. That's what they're going to have to do. See if they can just catch fire with a bat. It's the only thing they got. Only thing they got. And I'm not doing the crazy overreaction that, I love you guys. But sometimes you look at everything in such a vacuum. And I'm not just talking about you guys here or watching the show and whatever. I'm talking about Twitter, social media, all of it. Everything is just such a vacuum. We react to one baseball game like it's a football game. And it's like sometimes you got to pump the brakes before you hit the send button on anything. This isn't because they traded Joey Loperfido, a rookie. Like, the energy's been gone since they traded Joey Loperfido. That's not real. Stop. If there's any loss of energy for this team from the deadline, it's that their general manager didn't go out and do more. Because that's what they should have done. The evidence has been very obvious since the deadline. They needed a bat, and they didn't get a bat. They didn't. Their offense puts up numbers. They score runs. They've got all the pretty numbers that say they're one of the better offenses in the league. But simple as this, they're not a great offensive baseball team. They don't mash a lot. They don't put the kind of pressure on teams that you'd like to consistently see. And then when they have opportunities, they don't put things away. They don't take advantage, when it happens. I mean, it's simple as that. And Kyle Tucker coming back at some point, when they finally admit that he fractured his shin at this point, because that's what he did. I don't care what they're telling us. There's no way that he didn't fracture his shin. It's not going to fix everything. It's an ebb and flow. This is the baseball season. There's going to be guys that go up and then go down. It's what they do. They're going to get hot again at some point, and we're going to sit here and laugh and laugh and laugh. But here's the problem with that. You can't dig the hole now. 50 games left? 49 games left, whatever? There's no room for error anymore. Especially given that the American League, there is not going to be a second postseason team out of this division. There's not. The division winner will be the only team that from the American League West that makes the playoffs. Right now, the Astros are 4.5. Let me see this. I know I complain about it every night. I hate MLB.com. They have the worst website because it doesn't update. Let's go update everything. They're 5 games out of the wild card. The Astros are 5 games out of the wild card right now, 1.5 games. But again, from the virtual standpoint, the Astros are 2.5 out of the division because they do not have the tiebreaker over the Seattle Mariners. You're not getting in as a wild card in the American League. And that's why you can't keep farting around here. And, you better hope that the Mariners don't start playing some really good, consistent baseball. They've hit a little bit better since the break. I've watched them. They don't look a lot different. I mean, they've just had some games. Rosarena has been good for them. The energy always wears off. We'll see how that goes. But right now, there's just no energy for this baseball team. Absolutely no energy for this baseball team. I'd love to sit here and tell you I know that they're going to figure it out, but I don't. I don't. And I just go to trends. I go to what the season has told me. And when I'm talking about individual players, the lineup that I just ran through, Altuve, good season. Numbers look good. At-bat quality has declined massively. Pop has gone out the window. Okay? He'll hit, though. He'll get hits. The question will be, will they be of consequence? Bregman has been bad all year. I know that he has had hot streaks, but he's just not – he hasn't been the same player. He doesn't even sniff being the same player, basically, since 2019. Jordan has been really good, but not lethal good. Yiner has been good, but not pop good. Everything else has been good, but like he doesn't hit for – not hitting a bunch of extra base hits and a bunch of home runs right now. Jeremy Pena's just been a league average player at the plate. Jake Myers is who Jake Myers is, and we always known him to be. He had a hot streak, which is great. Plays a great center field. But he can't hit. He can't play every single day if you have a bunch of guys in this lineup that aren't performing. Like Chas McCormick, like I mentioned, you can't play him anymore. Trey Cabbage, he just right place, right time. He is getting big league service time. That's what he's getting. He would not stick around if he found himself on a team that, did something with their roster. Dubon, for a guy that was so bad his first year here, that was so good last year, that started off so red hot this year, he is in his own head. Singleton is a platoon player at best. And then, whatever else you do with this lineup. I don't know. And the schedule is not about to get any easier. We've talked about that as well. The schedule is difficult moving forward for this baseball team. They've got 2 more games there in Arlington, which we'll talk about in a little bit. They have to win those 2 games because there's a tiebreaker scenario involved with this as well. They've got the Red Sox this weekend in Boston. And they go to Tampa. And then they come home. They get to play the White Sox. But don't get fooled when they beat the crap out of the White Sox for 3 days. A lot of teams do that. Doesn't matter. And they'll play the Red Sox again, then the Orioles, then the Phillies, then the Royals. This month of August is a brutal stretch. And September, it's got some lighter load to it. But if you don't pass the test in August, which this is kind of where you cut your teeth on what your season's going to be, right? We've seen this Astros franchise before have bad August, but they had such a cushion that it was okay. There's no cushion here. In fact, there's a deficit again. And I'm as exhausted right now watching them try to play baseball as you are. If you're new to the channel tonight, thanks for stopping by. Please hit that subscribe button. We do this after every game. Not just Astros as well. We do Rockets, Texans, and Cougs. This Friday, we're going to have a busy night on this channel. We're going to have an Astros postcast and a Texans postcast. So get yourself prepared for that mentally. It's going to be a double dip that night, back to back. We're going to do one show, end it, do the next show. Let's talk a little bit about the positive of the night, the only positive of the night being the pitcher that started and was great once again for the Astros, that being Hunter Brown. We'll talk about him next. It is the summer, and, it's hot outside. And what happens when it's hot outside? You get dehydrated quickly. Well, get yourself hydrated in the right way. The best way, with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. That is Liquid IV. I've told you guys before, I love Liquid IV. I had one earlier when I had my dinner. It was a fajita night in my house. I cooked fajitas, and guess what I had with it? A peach sugar-free Liquid IV, and it tasted absolutely fantastic. It's tear, pour, live more. 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates you better than water alone. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in a hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code LOCKEDONMLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you stop or when you shop Better Hydration today by using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Locked On Astros Postcast tonight. Thank you for joining us after the Astros give up a walk-off home run. Absolutely stinks to sit there and watch. But this has kind of been, what it is for the Astros lately. Since the All-Star break, this team has just not been good. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's not rude or anything. It's just the truth. I like to live in the world of reality of the situation. The reality is this too, for like all the doom and gloom that I like to do, here tonight and talk about all the bad things and how just absolutely atrocious this baseball team has been. Everything is still right in front of them. The deficit right now in the West is 1.5. And by the way, since the All-Star break, the Astros are 7-8, or 7-9, excuse me now. That's not good. But, everything is still right in front of them with the chance to win this division. It's not going to be easy, of course. They still have one more series against Seattle. That's the final 3 home games of the year before they go on the road to Cleveland for the last 3 of the season at the end of September. They still have that going for them. All it takes is going out there and playing not awful baseball. But again, what they've done at the plate doesn't look anything like a team that is capable necessarily of going out there and winning consistently right now. They're pitching well enough. We'll talk about Hunter Brown in just a couple of minutes. But they're giving themselves chances to win games. Like they have the opportunity basically every night to go win a game. And how about that? What are they now? Are they 1-6? 1-6 in extra innings this season. I mean, just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing that they can't sneak out. I mean, look, they weren't even going to get a run in the easiest of situations. All you got to do is be the first hitter of the inning, put the bat to ball to where you could advance the runner 90 feet and you're getting a run. Bregman, strikeout. That's what he's done all season. I know he hit a home run early in the game, but he has struck out a ton. They've struck out not a horrible amount, but they haven't. We've talked about this. They don't walk anymore. Like their plate discipline is just completely gone. Their approach at the plate this year, this whole swinging at the first pitch thing every time. I've always said it. I like aggressive baseball. I don't mind it, but always doing it and sticking to it. Like they give the opposing team all the evidence in the world of what's going to happen when they go up there and throw the first pitch. They're just going to swing. Just going to swing. They're going to get in a hole every time. And then it becomes ingrained in you, and you can't get rid of it. I don't know, man. I do not know. I'd like to say foul words, but this is a family program. We don't say foul words on this show. That's just kind of how tonight has me feeling. And you're 1 out away, too. That's the... You bring in, no offense to Caleb Ferguson. This is Caleb Ferguson. This is a guy that wasn't any good this season for the Yankees. When they made that trade, I go, why? Okay. He stinks. This guy comes in and gets 2 strikeouts, and here you go, and then boom. I hate baseball tonight. A lot of nights, even when they lose, I still love baseball. Tonight, I hate baseball because baseball right now is making me mad and sad. All right, let's talk about Hunter Brown. Let's talk about the next 2 games being absolute must-win games for the Astros. We'll do that next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Right now, though, I want to tell you about America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. That's right. That's Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today, like me, and have fun with these games, picking more or less every single night. Right now, you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with Prize Picks. As I mentioned, you could do all that while watching Team USA rack up the gold medals this summer. You can make Prize Picks lineups of players across basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, and more in as little as 60 seconds. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you're locked in. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Locked On Astros Postcast continues on a sad Monday night. I want a happy show. When's the last time we did a happy show? When did they last win? I don't even know anymore. I don't. That's how sad I am right now. Is that Friday night they won? Yeah, Friday night they won. They didn't even win pretty. They won ugly. Heck, the last 2 games they've won, go look at them. 5-4 and 3-2. Pirates, Rays back-to-back. They've now lost 3 games in a row. But heck, that first Pirates game, that they won, they got gifted the win. Shouldn't even won that game. I've slept a few times since the Rays game, which, as you can hear, the yawns are starting to kick in now. It's about bedtime. Don't worry. For those of you that are looking for the show mascot tonight, I usually bring her in to brighten the spirit. She was in the room. Coco was. But I don't think that she liked that I talked with, a raised voice tonight because the Astros are so bad. So she opened the door and she left. She's probably in bed now. So no appearance by Coco tonight. Sorry for those of you that come to this show strictly for the show mascot being Coco. And if you don't know who Coco is, she's one of my 3 dogs in this house that has basically become the mascot of the show, and usually brightens things up when things are down for the Astros. And things, unfortunately, right now are down for the Houston Astros. Heck, I was going to see if the other dog was in here. Even he left me. They don't like me tonight. Dang. I was going to at least show you another dog. Something to make you happier because, I got nothing else. Hunter Brown was good tonight. There's that for the Astros. That was a good thing. He's continued to be brilliant in his turnaround this season. 6 innings, 1 run, 3 hits. Only struck out 4. That's okay. 2 walks. His ERA, look at that. His ERA has finally gone down to below 4. 3.98 on the season. He's 122 innings in now, 130 strikeouts, 9-7 record, 22 starts, 23 games pitched in. I mean, just an incredible turnaround. Truly, truly was, something that they had to have. And, they need that to continue. And I think let's play. Okay, I know it's hard to do on a night where they go out and they lose again, and they right now can't hit the baseball. If they were to go into a postseason series right now, Hunter Brown starting game 1? I think he might. Can't even really entertain that thought right now because this team at the moment doesn't look like it has any capability of being a postseason team. Maybe my declaration that I made earlier this season where I looked straight into this camera and I said, they're not going to the postseason, will end up being right. I hope I'm not. I hope I still have to eat those words. I've already apologized once and ate those words and said I was wrong. But right now, maybe I was right. I don't know. Stop toying with me and my emotions. I don't want to be on this roller coaster. I want to get back to being fat and happy. Fat and happy and sassy. That's what I used to be as an Astros fan. I don't like this 2 years in a row of having to be in a dogfight to win a division. I want to go back to winning the division by 18 games a year. Go spin like the Dodgers and trade for everybody in the world. Go get your version of Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman to add on to what you already have, and let's roll this thing out. It's not a next man up mentality anymore here. Buy me some championships, please. Get me more. Give me some big division wins. Easy division wins. Division titles. Tomorrow and the next day. Must wins. And they're must wins for the reason of the tiebreaker. Now, I don't care about the silver boot like the players don't care. The Astros haven't lost the silver boot since 2016. So I don't want to give it back. Do you? No, you don't. But there is still the tiebreaker scenario that, if you were for some reason tied up with the Rangers, you need to get it. I think that you're probably not going to need that scenario. I don't think the Rangers are any good either, and they've got a bunch of injuries. But you have to have that in your pocket if you need it. Simple as that. Tomorrow, by the way, another 7 o'clock game. It'll be who's pitching tomorrow? Fromber up against Tyler Mahle for the Rangers. Wednesday's game is still TBD for Texas, and Yusei Kikuchi for the Astros in that one. I hope you guys at least lived through me for a moment with the venting tonight. I appreciate you stopping by. Y'all were blowing up the comments. I can't even keep up with this. I look on my screen here through our service that we use. It says 346 comments. I'm sure you guys, 347. I'm sure that you guys are enjoying fighting with each other about something. Well, I mean, look, it's the Astros have made you do it. It's okay. One day, we'll get to have a streak of good times. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Come on back tomorrow night. We'll do it again. Talk to you all then on Locked On Astros Postcast.